Thank you, John Marcus. As always, getting me started off right here. Let's see. Check, check, check. Sound test, sound test. Hold on, I'm having to get logged back in. Just getting set up. Do. This is where I should imagine there's a thing on the screen that says stream starting in 10 minutes. That's not it. All right. See if Sannio's ready to join me. While I'm getting set up here. You. Question should be online. Twitch tells you need to spend 79,870 bits for a badge. Maybe that's $1,000 badge. Happy Friday, Irish Eyes. Try my wingman again.
Hello.
Hey, there's my wingman. Here, give me a test. Try and get your volume right.
Testing right now, talking about the Obsidian Panopticon. What do you think about that?
I think I need to adjust your position on screen.
All right.
Whoops, a miss. There we go. Wait, now you're bigger than me.
Whoa.
There we go. Let's see. Tested the question bot. I got you on the stream.
Contest asked Panopticon. Oops, it's my alert that we're doing this.
You should get on the stream. Let's see. 5 minutes left. Oh.
Just Google's Panopticon. Yep. It's an architectural structure that's basically a supervisor of some sort at the center can kind of see all the activities in all directions. Could be used for like a prison or a teaching situation, storage. this case, it'll be a prison. Working on a prison scene. There you go. Pre-live stream exclusive for you. Thanks for showing up early.
Oh, look, there you said, I'm ready when you are. Okay. Let's see. You know what I feel? I feel like something is in the air. I think it might be that love is in the air. Love.
It's not this banana-flavored Twinkie?
Love is in the air. I can't believe people actually eat Twinkies. You're old. You're not supposed to eat Twinkies.
Why not?
Because it's not healthy. You're supposed to be eating healthy stuff.
It's healthier than some things.
In case it wasn't clear, love is in the air is the phrase for today.
Love is in the air. Say it in the game chat.
Not here.
Yeah. I mean, you can say it here if you want, but it doesn't have the same impact. Same chance for reward. What did we use last year? Was it also Love is in the Air? It feels familiar.
Yeah, it feels familiar. It's kind of, I think we always look at the, whatever the big holiday is coming up and try to pick something, and Valentine's Day is really the only holiday in this month. Now, March, we need to go St. Patrick's Day.
We have to. I mean, I guess we have a lot of booze in the game. Do we have shamrock pavers or something like that? We should. If we don't, let's get that on the list.
Shamrock pavers? Like rocks made out of shamrock shape, or just that it puts down a bunch of four-leaf clovers
ivy
or something?
On the ground. Yeah.
Maybe we need to have a scene that spawns four-leaf clovers. Like it spawns like a million three-leaf clovers, and then it spawns like
we have
clover
pavers, says Start. Okay.
Okay.
We have it. Good. Oh, we did that last year. Okay. I'm a year behind. We cannot see Sannio. It says...
That can't be true.
I could see me on the chat. Or is there supposed to be a comment? We cannot see Sannio.
Let me do this. Get
You,
a little more set
maybe
up
have to
here. And
adjust
we're
your-
just already done.
You just shrunk me.
There we go.
The
Perfect.
person who sat down.
All right. Warren Buffett eats Oreos for breakfast. And I know that there's guys that are like 98 years old or whatever, and they said the reason they lived to be 98 is because they smoke a cigar every evening or whatever.
I don't smoke. I do have Oreos as well, though. I can go get them.
Well, I have Oreos.
Oreo,
too.
like a Twinkie sandwich. Oreo, Twinkie, Oreo. Delish. Is Sannio growing a beard? I grow a beard like every 3 days, and then I shave it off. Grows up pretty fast.
I haven't done Movember in a while. I've discovered that just the Movember stuff was enough for me to know that I hate having a beard or any facial hair of any kind.
Yeah.
Like it says, it starts making it so like I can't really feel my skin through it. It like keeps me awake at night. Those Movembers are horrible.
It's just when I'm growing it like brand new after just been fully shaved. There's a couple of periods of transition, like when it's first coming in, it's kind of irritating. And then when it's full-ish but not fully full, that I don't know, it gets dry or something. But if I sort of shave it, grow it, shave it, grow it, never a problem. Anyway, Taular Fairlow says, suggests a scene with harvestable four-leaf clovers and a small trickster demon that drops little piles of gold around. Be like the anti-imp who steals gold. If you didn't know, an imp will steal you gold. Get through those.
I have my fish tank here, and we're not quite to the stream. Let's see. That guy right there. That fish and...
That big one. The gray one.
That one. Oh, no, that's a boy. That one. The one right up there. We've determined that those two are boyfriend, girlfriend, and going to be... we think they're causing problems now. We've seen them. There's been some conflict in the tank. So we'll see what happens
says
there.
obsidian clovers. That sounds fascinating. It's 4:01, my clock says.
Oh, we're behind. Greetings, avatars! Welcome to the Friday stream of the... Sorry, just got distracted. Thunderbird just put up fish sex. That's not how it works. But anyways, welcome to the Friday Shroud of the Avatar live stream to do some Q&A, give away some prizes, talk about stuff that's coming up, talk about a thing we're going to be doing that we haven't finalized, but is kind of a big deal, hopefully. And what else? Next Friday, I believe, is probably even a bigger deal stream, because that is, I believe, Lord British, Richard, and Star will both be on the stream. We'll see how that goes. We've had, that all depends on whether or not Ravlox is back in town. We'll have to see. But anyways, this Friday is also equally as awesome a stream. First off, thank you all for joining us today. See, we're up to 110 people here, so we can go ahead and start talking about cool stuff. Which is one, I think that's turned into a pretty good release. We had a pretty rough start to it, but I think we got a lot of bugs fixed in that... was it Tuesday patch? Maybe a Monday patch? I forget which patch it was. Maybe it was Wednesday. But anyways, we got a lot of the big stuff fixed. There's still a few issues going on. If you see, I am here in game. Actually, you know what? I think this rain is actually my fault. I was in here doing some profiling earlier, trying to compare Unity 2019, the newer version, with 2018, the version that the game is built on now. And I was trying to do some performance testing and see... Turning on rain always makes performance worse. So I think I set weather override clear, or heavy rain, and it never got turned off because somebody's been in the town the whole time. The rain in game stays mainly on the plains. Maybe I should do some My Fair Lady later. I've got to sing a song for those who missed it. John Marcus is put up 1337 bits. I will be singing him a song. We will see how that goes. Let's see. Well, what's that? It's getting blurred out. No, we can't see it. It's getting... Yeah, there you go. That's what you got to do. What is that?
It's me.
I kind of guessed it was you, but what is that?
My older brother made it for me a few years ago for some reason, just practicing his skills. And I actually had it at work for a while. It's a little mini bust of my own head. It's just kind of weird to drag around. I figured I'd break it out again, show it off.
But anyways, let me jump into some stuff that's going on. So first... I think people saw I've been working on getting us moved to 2019. There's some good things.
Did you introduce yourself first?
No. Greetings, avatars. I'm Chris Spears. Atos in game. Also, I'm in game as Chompy a lot, or Chompers, sometime, depending on what I'm doing at the moment. So I can avoid being spotted and tracked. But I am one of the people on the project. Title used to be tech director, but we all do so many things these days, hard to call me tech director. And today I have with me, right up here, yeah, I got it, there, I have Sannio, also known as Keith. What do you do?
Yeah. I do level design, quest stuff, I implement player-owned towns, general ideas, and helper outer.
Helper outer. I think we're all helper outers. Elgarion, another help router, can't be here tonight, but I wanted to set something straight. People thought that you made those the shrines that went out this release.
I did not.
And they were going to heap praise upon you. I think last stream it came up that they were in there and that they came out and they were flawless on the first try, so they immediately knew that it couldn't have been me who did them. And I think somehow some people got the impression that you did them, and you are also do flawless things, but those were not your flawless things. Those were
I think they know I'm the guy who set up the shrine quests and the devotional caretaker settings and place shrines. So they just assumed it was an extension of that. But yeah, it wasn't me. It was Rick Elgarion.
Yeah, and I will say that I did help out a bunch with them, but they were flawless because he actually does a lot of time testing and putting stuff in game, but they were also his idea. He's coming up with some great ideas. I don't think it's a secret. He may want it to be a secret, but one of the things he's looking at now is basically just like we have, you can place down something that will bring a swarm of bats or something to your town. He has one that is you can place it and the deco will put oh, that's nice. We'll put a dragon flying over your town up high in the air, kind of like what you see in the overworld, kind of that same type thing that'll fly around and fly in different random patterns.
So I think we have to be careful about those because they're based off the bird flocks, and aren't those not so great?
Well, the bird flocks are not that great, but it's not the rendering of them. It is the having lots and lots of little bird flocks, and that bird flock system we were using, it actually does flocking, and it does collision avoidance and stuff like that. It tries to. It does a poor job of it. So it's a single beast. Yeah. So this is a single beast that'll be up high where there's nothing to collide with. So the dragon will probably be cheaper than other stuff. We've got a number of LODs for those dragons, so they won't cost that much. But anyways, this week, back to the thing I was talking about, and now that I've introduced myself. Oh, speaking of dragon, there's a dragon off in the distance there. It's a nice little view you get when you walk into this town. A gigantic tree and a gigantic dragon. But I've been working this week on moving to 2019. It brings with it a lot of stuff. The main reason I want to move is there's a couple of things. One is they've improved the garbage collection, which is what generally causes hitches in the game. That's one of the things I've seen some people talk about Lua. Well, you can't throw 1,000 things up on screen in the Lua as it currently stands because it causes some hitching. Some nasty hitching, and this should help with that hitching. Technically, all it does is spread the hitching out, because really, if you have 60 frames a second, then you have spikes every now and then. That looks horrible. If you have 30 frames a second, then you have spikes every now and then. It looks horrible. But like 20 frames a second with no spikes looks better than 60 frames per second with spikes. Having it consistent, so this helps make things consistent across the frame. So that'll be something that's good with Lua. I'm also looking at redoing some of the Lua for the UI stuff, just because I've had some people asking that they want to do some UI in Lua, but they're afraid to, because if they do, they're afraid it will be throwaway work and they'll have to redo it. But this should improve things on that. I am looking at more UI stuff for Lua and opening that up to some more things. But that's one of the things in 2019. There's supposed to be some performance improvements for it. So far, I've seen an actual performance drop in it. But it's not so horrible that it will probably stop us. It's a couple frames a second, so it may be giving back some of the performance I just got back this last release. But it does open up some easier things for us in terms of optimizations and better ways to tell where the performance is going, some better analytics internal, which is important because we do have, if you see that, you turn on your debug, and you see this number up here, this crunch number, that's showing you the frames per second and then the crunch number. And you'll see this crunch number when the frame rate drops much below 30, you'll start seeing that going up. And if it goes above 30, it'll start crawling down. So if it stays consistently above 30, you'll see that number continue to climb. And what that's doing is that's used by a couple things internal. That's used to know what performance things to enable, disable based on bad performance. And I'm going to be getting some worse performance here while I move across the screen in case you didn't know, because things load in the background. And then also as they get loaded, they also have to build calling information, all that type of stuff. So, but you can see the crunch, this is max everything, will continue crawling up, and as it does, the frame rate will hopefully continue to go up. But what it's doing is there's about 5 different things that it adjusts right now. There's about 20 things that we can adjust, but because of metrics not being exposed internally from Unity, previously in 2018 we didn't know what things to adjust, so we may continue to make the game look worse without actually improving the performance because we didn't have the proper metrics before. With 2019 we'll be able to get the proper metrics finally and improve some of those things. But LOD distance is one of the things that gets turned up at crunch. And the reason I'm in this town is this is currently, if you get this whole lane to load like I did, this is right here, this view right here is one of the worst performing areas in the game, which is why I was working on improving it. I mean, obviously it's not horrible, but it is, it could be better. And especially the first time you run through here and you get frame rate drops as more things load in. You can see that dude loaded in and sat down. Number of lights that it'll render is one of the things it'll turn on and off with the crunch number being low. Shadow distances is another one. And actually, I guess while I'm talking about performance stuff, and you can see more stuff loading in there. But as I'm talking about
Gamer was asking, by the way, before you go on. Oh, no, not him. The Doom Age was asking what crunch was.
Crunch was just a name for the internal number that I came up with. I had to make up a name, and I made up crunch. It's my own thing, so if you're looking for things to change to improve, the biggest thing you're going to have that will improve things, of course, is shadows. That is a large impact on both CPU and GPU side of things. And yes, right here is where things are really the ugliest. Right there. But anyways. So anyways, the reason I was talking about crunch, back to my thought before I lost my train of thought, was the new system will actually let us know what things it makes sense to turn on and off. Previously, we had no idea what to turn on and off, and we were turning things off that did not improve things, but made the game look worse. Now we'll actually be able to improve things. All right. So anyways, also 2019 has some more visual. People were asking if it's going to look better on 2019. It will not look better. It does give us some tools so we can make it look better, but no, there's no magic switch that I can go in and flip and say, now that we're on 2019, let's have, make things look better. It's not going to be that type of thing. It does give us some better tools, some better VFX creation, some better options for visuals and shaders. And one of the most important things, and if we do end up switching, you guys can thank Undone for me pushing us over to 2019, because he wants to switch his project over, and the biggest thing he wants out of it is the profiler in 2019 is so much improved, which having a better profiler is much better for figuring out performance things. So anyways, this is not 2019 I'm running on right now. It's getting close. I can actually run in 2019. There's still some exceptions going on, and until I get those fixed, I won't know if the performance is improved or worse on it. Let's see. I didn't make a checklist of things we're talking about because I was expecting to be alone and not have a Sannio with me. But Sannio, I'll get you the questions pasted over there in just a bit. I did want to mention we have a thing. Let me go find that thing. Hold on one second here.
I was talking, I was muted. So Random Dude 611 asked me, what's up with the fragile plaques in the Well of Alder scene? Is there a hidden quest for them? It's not, I wouldn't call it a hidden quest. It's a hidden Easter egg situation. And I don't want to share too much about it because I think once players figure it out, it'll just be super easy for them to just race through it. But there is something to them, yes. There is a reward that can happen once you figure it out.
Do you know if anyone's done it yet?
I don't think anyone's done it yet.
Well, of course,
I think they would have shared it. There's also like an Easter egg thread that I love on our forums, and I think they might have posted about it there if it happened.
I know one of the fragile plaques was messed up.
Yeah, I fixed that.
Do we know if that made it out in a patch yet? Did I push that out?
It should have been. Yeah, I fixed it that same last Friday.
Okay.
Right afterwards, right after the screen.
So this is something I told people. I posted on my Twitter and also in a few other places in the forums on Facebook because I got tagged there. But a sad story, but hopefully one we can bring the community together on, which is Catherine Rose. I think many people know Catherine Rose. Her daughter is battling cancer, and we always try to do our best to help out the community wherever we can. And I don't think Catherine Rose is out there. Hopefully she's not, because I'm going to say a bunch of nice things about her, and I don't want to embarrass her. But Catherine Rose is one of the nicest people, even though she's no longer as big a part of the community as she once was. But she's one of the nicest people, and I think people know that there was she did a lot of helping other people out. And we had another person in the game who actually had cancer and had major medical bills from that and was going to sell their pledges, and she helped him out. I'm not sure. Hopefully that wasn't like some type of secret. But anyway, she helped him out in a huge way. So for any community member, we always try to do what we can to help out. But I just want to make sure before I tell you about the next thing we're doing that you don't think this is something we will just do for any community member out there. As much as we love everybody, we can't help everybody out. But Catherine Rose is one that deserves absolutely over-the-top special payback. I always talk about karma on the stream. So if anybody has earned enough karma in this world that they deserve some good things, it's definitely Catherine Rose. But her daughter is battling cancer and needs some treatment, is going to be getting some treatment, but also because of that, she's not going to be able to continue working for a while. So there is a GoFundMe. Linked it in there. Actually, I put a link to the Avatar Express story on it. But we wanted to do some more. I donated myself personally. But we want to do more as a community type thing. So besides just promoting it, which we're going to do, make sure and promote it and get the word out there on it, we are going to see what we can do in terms of some charity stuff, a charity auction, which I brought up that when we closed, we turned off the Lord of the Isles. We still had at least one Lord of the Isle left that had not been purchased. So to me, this feels like an absolutely win-win situation for the community, for us to donate a Lord of the Isle pledge to be auctioned off with 100% going towards Wendy's GoFundMe campaign, or going directly to Wendy. But this is one, we have not finalized everything that's going to go into it. It will definitely be a Lord of the Isle pledge. I'm actually going to reach out to Richard and Star. And thank you guys. Thank you for the bits there. But I'm going to reach out to Richard and Star and see if they have any other stuff that's not just Shroud of the Avatar memorabilia, but maybe some Ultima Online stuff that they can part with that we will put up as well. Again, I'm not sure after all this time, they have that much stuff left to part with, but I've got some stuff upstairs that is early Shroud of the Avatar stuff. I'm going to try and pull some out. I will probably put up the original Dippy Bird for those who are aware of the Dippy Bird history and culture. But I'll put up the original Dippy Bird. We'll get some more signed stuff too from Richard and Star, and put up some stuff for auction. We've got to, some of the money I know is going to be going towards surgery expenses and all the immediate medical treatment, but a lot of the money going towards to help out Wendy is going to be going to help with long-term expenses, just because she's not going to be able to work for a while afterwards. So we've got anything we can do to help extend that runway and make life a little less stressful is huge. So Oh, here comes the hype train. But anyways, we'll come up with the exact items. I know we're going to put up Lord of the Isle. We'll probably put up a few other things, and we'll put up some physical goods as well. But we will try and get that. We're trying to work it out. Again, I mentioned the longer term, trying to make sure the runway stuff. She has runways. I point out that does not have to be immediately, I don't think. We're going to talk to Catherine Rose and a few other people, and we'll see. But I don't think that the money has to be in there immediately, and I think it'd be better if we gave whatever auction we do a week or so, or maybe 2 weeks, to build up and get a little attention. But we will do a Lord of the Isle, like I said, some other physical objects. We'll probably put some... I saw some people saying they would donate some of their own things. I hate seeing people donate their in-game stuff when we can donate stuff for them. But anyways, we're going to be doing some more stuff. We haven't decided. We're looking at a couple different options. We may be using the Airy Fund, just because they're already set up as a charity community, charity group. But we'll see what happens. But we'll figure out how to do it, and whatever happens, we're going to just know that we're not pocketing anything on it. Depending on what type of auction system or where we end up going with that stuff, there may be some small 3% or something that gets pulled off. But 100% of the money, or 97% of the money, will go straight to Wendy. So there. But anyways, we'll pull together. We're going to also keep publicizing that quite a bit. I think people knew we actually did a GoFundMe here recently. One of our teammates, we've had a lot of tragedy, not just in the community over the past few years, but even on the team. We had one of our teammates whose wife passed away suddenly, and we did a GoFundMe. So I'm actually pretty familiar with getting that stuff and how that works. So just so you know, when money goes into it, it's not like a Kickstarter where it waits until the end of some period, and if it gets the goal, then the money shows up somewhere. With a GoFundMe, it's all tax-free. It goes straight to the person, and it's basically when you donate, that shows up once they've hooked up their bank account, hooked up all that side of the financial stuff. It shows up in their bank account like the next day or 2 days later. It's no time at all between when you donate and when they get it. So just know that also, that this isn't some like building up thing that they're not going to see any of that money, that won't help them for a long time. This is stuff that as soon as you donate, it goes in there. But anyways, we absolutely wish Wendy and also Catherine Rose the very, very best. And we're sure this is all going to turn out well and everything's going to go well with it. Sounds like they're doing everything they can. And definitely cheering for her. We'll keep linking that in the pledges. Back over to the stream stuff and game stuff here. I see the hype train is that the end of the hype train, or is that we made a level or something? Level 1 complete. Alright, well, every level of hype train completed, we'll do an extra round of prizes. Looks like we're halfway through level 2 already.
When do we do the first prize thing? I always forget.
I do it 9 minutes ago.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Glad I brought it up.
I'll run it once just so we can make sure it's working, and then I'll save the others until towards the end of the stream.
Yep.
If I can remember where to find the thing, but I did update the prizing stuff. Bam. Prizing is going. Also a reminder, if I drop, the stream falls away, then that probably means my computer rebooted, which has been happening a lot lately. I still have that CPU that they promised is coming any day now. We'll see. But hopefully I'll have a new computer here soon. I was hoping it would show up now when they promised it, because then I could get my new computer set up between the last release and the next release. And get back to work on some stuff that I've stopped working on because it was causing problems, like building VR.
I'll answer a couple questions while you're...
Okay. And I will go get the official questions.
So Elwin Moon asked, are you guys going to fix the enormous mining nodes we ended up with this month? Are there more enormous mining nodes? Somebody needs to submit a bug. You don't actually have to submit the specific location for me, because I'll check them all in the scene. just tell me what scene it's in, what map it's in, and then I'll go and check them all out. But if you know a specific location, then that's even better. So, for example, you could say, I don't know, Libris runes, iron ore nodes, and then I'll just check them all. That would be fine. I know I caught most of them. I thought I caught all of them, but I guess if you were saying I didn't, then that's on me.
Not perfect. If you want it perfect, you have to get Elgarion to do it. Remember that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But I'll point out that so the different tier nodes are different sizes. So in the starter areas, the tier 1 nodes, those are the basic default normal size. And then as they go up, to tier 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 and up are all the same size. But the tier 5 and up, they're the biggest size. So they will be bigger. They'll be like 2.35% bigger than the other ones. So if you see something that is as big as a dragon, that's too big. If you see something that's sort of as maybe about twice as big as some smaller ones, it might actually still be okay. But anyway, just let me know and I'll go check it out. You saw some in the basement of Graft Mines. All right, I'll go check out Graft Mines.
Looks like we're at level 2. I will thank lots and lots of people at the end of the hype train. But right now I'm going to go answer some questions. I did throw the questions up there. Actually, right now I'm going to announce the prizes and then I'll do some questions. We got a blank Valentine's Day 2016 card 5-pack goes to Blaze Garsink. We have Valentine's Day gift boxes 2017 3-pack goes to Archon Shieldbreaker. We have a brass Clockwork Cat going to Waldo Ptolemy. We have an ornate pipe organ going to Circe Phoenix Fire. We have a large stone ruins going to Marcus Smasher. Let's see. Let me get back over the questions there, and I'm going to start picking some of these guys off. Pew, pew. Coswald, will the new offhand artifacts be able to accept gems and enchantments like the older ones can? Yes, that's actually something, again, I've been continuing my young Jedi, Elgarion, taking over a lot of the stuff that I've done over time, including creating some new artifacts. Those are probably ones that he created that he doesn't know that magic. That's a very tedious and frustrating magic that I need to show him. It's actually, there's a large table, and it's one of those things that initially, if you're wondering why we don't go fix it, initially it was a very good system. Unity lets you create some editor type stuff really easily. I know there's a lot of techie guys out there and Unity guys out there, let you do that. Well, there's a lot of limits to that stuff, and I think they just have some hard-coded numbers or who knows what. But when you get those interfaces too big, you have a list, and if it has 50 things in it and has each one of them, you can expand it and do the editor on it, whatever. But once you get past a certain point and a certain number of interfaces on it, it just stops functioning and starts drawing gibberish up on the screen and fails. And so then you're left editing the asset file by hand. That's where we are with all those artifact things, and I need to show him how to do that. But I will do that. That is a good point. Let's see. New enchants and masterworks when combining artifacts with crafted gear win. So I put at least through the first... Hey, Avenir, thank you. I'm going to go back and thank everybody here as soon as the hype train's up. Reminder. I've put everything I think you guys know. I've tried to put anything new... new content type stuff that I'm doing, I'm kind of put on the back burner to work on bugs and polish and performance, which has paid off. And I think I've had a lot of people tell me, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who do want me to work on some stuff. I know there's a lot of stuff to look forward to that's been delayed or getting delayed. But I've had a lot of people tell me that what we're doing is absolutely the right thing. Of trying to improve the existing stuff and doing more work on that. So, but that's also one of those things, the tech for that is just about there. It's really down to a data point or data thing. And that's one that, I've been saying it's not going to get done because I've got to fix bugs and I've got to polish and I've got to improve frame rate and I got to fix some of these old naggy things that we've kind of avoided eye contact with. But again, my young Jedi out there who may be watching the stream right now, hearing me call him my young Jedi. He's not that young. But that's something that he could easily take over once I show him the first couple of them. So that could actually happen sooner rather than later. That's going to be not a lot of new tech. As you know, we already have the gems and those type things, and those are all data defined, like the stuff that's out there right now. This is just a matter of going to artifacts, adding to them a salvage pattern for them, so you can salvage them, creating the gem that you get from them, the specific gem, setting the stats that gives you when you put it into the weapon. So everything's already there in terms of socketing things and all that type stuff. Obviously, you guys are doing it already. It's a data thing. So yeah, so maybe that's one Elrond that I can hand off to Elgarion, and it can happen sooner than I was thinking it might happen. He's actually having a lot of fun too, though, just coming up with new ideas and things that he thinks would be cool in game and running them by me. Let's see.
I love that some of the things he's making I can use for quest rewards, because I like making the quest, but it's even cooler if there's like a reward that could be unique for that quest.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's we'll just call this the Catherine Rose and Elgarion appreciation stream. About the other thing that's been really cool that he's brought in that I think I just was blind to. I mean, I know I wasn't blind to it, but I didn't really give it the weight that it probably deserved, which is the using, rather than like, when I think of things that drop, I'm thinking like, okay, well, I can make some new potions, I can make a new artifact, maybe I can make some, thing that, like he's coming in like, why aren't we putting decorations? Like decorations or things that you can craft for decorations as loot is huge. And I think that's one of those things, like the paintings and all these the shrines and these other things. I mean, the shrines obviously on purpose. Coffin. He's got some more stuff coming up this next release that they're going to be going in as loot. But yeah, I think that's great, because that's the other thing is, even if you're not a decorator person, if we add some stuff in that's like a hard to get decoration, like some of those portraits or coffins or whatever type things, then those still have value to you guys, because that has value to the rest, to other people in the community that you can put them up for sale. So it's huge. I love him. I love the ideas he has. I don't know if I'm quite ready to announce my love for Elgarion. Not on air. But anyways, the Mad Chef of Xenos. When are you planning a much-deserved vacation? I took a bit of a vacation over the holidays. I honestly, just the way I work kind of a weird schedule. And when I feel like working, I work as much as I want to, and then I get away from the computer. I think day before yesterday here in Austin. Yesterday it was like 85 in Austin. It was the hottest day on record for February 4th or whatever it was, by like 4 degrees or something crazy. I posted in our chat that, February, global warming, everybody, yay! August in Texas, global warming, boo! So we're all melting with 110 degree temperatures. But yeah, I got on and told everybody it's going to be a beautiful day. Everybody get away from the computer and go take time out. But I will at some point take a vacation. There's not really much to do in terms of a vacation and just staying home. I'm going to get on the computer anyways. So I manage my stress and my work levels pretty well, I think. I think everybody on the team does. But thank you for caring about me, Mad Chef of Xenos. Let's see.
I got another one.
Okay.
Paladin Michael asks, when can we await episode 1 storyline to be continued? Episode 1, it's done. It's a self-contained storyline, and it won't be extended. But with episode 2, I'll probably do some callbacks to some of the stuff that happened in episode 1. Some I have specific. I don't want to give too much away, but there's little things like Grannis at the end. Not to give too much of a spoiler, but there's a change in the state of Grannis at the end of his storyline, the Courage storyline. So I'll probably sort of have a reference to that change. Anyone who maybe wasn't able to save Charlotte in the Battle of Souls Bridge, maybe there'll be repercussions one way or the other in a tiny way somewhere. So I don't want to just sort of ignore the episode 1, but I do want to make sure that the episode 2, storyline of episode 2 does follow episode 1, and there will be some bits that sort of like are a bridge across to the new episode. So that there you go.
All right. Let's see. Oh, looks like we finished. Anybody see what level did we get to on our stream? Level we completed, received a level 2 hype train. Okay, so we got to level 2. So let me go back and thank everybody real quick, and then I'm going to go do some rapid fire questions. Thank you guys for doing that. I did not adjust the difficulty of it. Let's see. Hold on, where did it go? All right, Sean Paxlair, name I've seen many, many years. Thank you, Sean. Irish Eyes, which I love the name always, and I love always saying Irish Eyes, besides being super sweet and a longtime community member. I think it took me like a year to realize that it's Irish Eyes, because, you eyes something and making it Irish, but it's also Irish Eyes. Get it? Eyes? Irish Eyes. So it kind of goes two ways there. I never knew if that was intended. I forget. But thank you, Irish Eyes, for all this stuff. Avenir, thank you, 1,500 bits, thank you, sir, many, many thanks. Dr. Hernbrand, Zythar, John Marcus again, U235, Sentinel Mandalar, thank you, 500 bits. Dark and Obscuro, Eileen Dragonfire for 300, Dices for 400, Radicus, Protega, Skaggy, Z, thank you for the resub. Aob Neal, thank you for the gifting of 5 community subs. Dark and Obscuro, Durson Booty, Treasure Pile, thank you guys for 300 and 400 bits. Let's see, more from Treasure Pile, more from Suzur, Mandalar for 1111, pounding the keyboard there. Thank you. U235 Sentinel, thank you for the Prime sub. Real Black Axe, Chef of Xenos for the gifted sub. Stymiel LTS, Serpenter, thank you for the follow. Mandalar, again. Trivia and Gravity, I think, started us off. And Skeggy Media. Oh, and John Marcus started off as 1337 bits, so warning, at the end of the stream, when we pick who we're going to raid, I will be singing us out. I'm going to do Billy Joel again. I'm in a Billy Joel kind of mood.
Dad music? Is he part of that dad rock group? That's all the phrase that's all the rage lately?
Dad rock?
Yeah, you haven't heard that?
No, I have not heard that. I am a dad.
It's like...
what the dads sing?
I don't know, Elvis Costello and Huey Lewis and... I don't know.
Oh. It just hurt me there that you put Huey Lewis in the same line with Elvis Costello and Billy Joel. Anyways, I've seen Huey Lewis in the news 3 times live in concert, all 3 times at Six Flags over Texas. Oh, I know my Huey Lewis. Let me get back to some questions here.
Here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Although I know the answer, but I'll ask you.
Okay.
Dursurus Bodhi asks, when does the dragon in the breach appear? Only seen once.
So that is, I think I told that funny story once, which was I sent people in to test it before it went live. And they told me that it was a tough fight. They got through it all. They killed the things, and then they managed to kill the boss. He seemed like a tough dragon. To which I was like, the dragon's not the boss. And they thought that they just got lucky in the dragon spawn. I think that's just a random, maybe a 1% spawn in one of those spawners back there.
Yeah, it's close, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a low percentage chance, and I whenever I do those, I try to sneak those in as well. That was one that I think might have already been there, and I left it.
He was. I know I went and checked it because he was getting stuck in some of the buildings. He was on a spawner set where some spawners were in the buildings, but I fixed that, so he should only spawn in the outside right now, so he won't get stuck anywhere.
All right, let's see.
But it's actually a little bit over 1%.
A little bit over 1%. Yeah, I knew he was rare, and most people when they go to the breach to fight stuff, they basically run from elemental to elemental to elemental boss, killing off the elementals. Heading back to do the boss fight and don't even stay around to farm that much. I can tell you that if you were a bard who is using Mez stuff, there's now a new stat. I have not moved this over to live yet, but there is a new stat. There's actually a couple new stats that I've added, which is always fun when I add new stats because then we can use them on items to improve things like spell crits and spell crit damage. And this is one that is, I forget what I called it. I may have called it a crowd control resist. And then I realized we already had something that was kind of a crowd control resist. But it's basically a mesmerize resist. So many of the bosses have got 50 or 75 points of crowd control resist, which will make them harder. I think those guys, for those who didn't know, the mesmerize stuff was based on your target level, not on your level. It's based on your skill level and the target's adventure level. So that is one that I later realized, because people always ask me, like, what does it player adventure level matter? And I always have to tell them, like, nothing. It doesn't matter anything. You know, it's used for hit point calculation. But I've actually realized that there's a few things where I use adventure level in a calculation, thinking on the PvE side of things. But if you're a PvP player, that actually your adventure level would matter how tough you were to be mezzed by another player. So there's a few places where it snuck in. I forgot there was another place where it was in there, like root or something like that. But anyways, the bosses are going to be tougher to mesmerize. They shouldn't be impossible, but they'll be much more difficult. And this goes for many bosses. There were some that were many M-A-N-Y, not M-I-N-I, for many of the bosses. But there were some that were kind of lower level bosses, like the Kabbalist. I think they're only like level 119 or something like that, which made them pretty easy to mez. I think those were for people who had learned that, it made those battles more trivial. So that those will be much more challenging. Well, you won't be able to mez them. You won't be able to play it in silly mode. It also brings up the opportunity for if somebody gets mezzed, successfully mezzed, that then they can gain mez resistance, so they're harder to mez after it's been broken. But yes, those are things trying to balance is not just about PvE stuff or hammering down specific scenes. It's about strategies that turn stuff that shouldn't be trivial and make it trivial, and making sure that we fix that. So, man, those blue lights, the bloom on those guys. Yeah, this is the town I come to for performance stuff. You can see why. It's got like pretty much every decoration in the book. So I look around and like there's the big moon orb, or the can't believe I can't remember what it's called. You know what it's called. You guys are all smarter than me. And there's a dragon up on the hill. There's a clock tower out there. Lord of the Manor House out there. Moondial. Yes, Moondial. Not to be confused with Sundial. All right, jumping back into some questions. One thing I saw was I fixed up, someone pointed out Splintering Strike. I did fix up part of the Splintering Strike. I thought I got both, but I see someone asking Splintering Strike still not applying the weapon damage bonus described in its tooltip. Did you decide not to add that effect? I thought I did add that effect. That's getting, when you start adding sub-effects on sub-effects, it starts getting into some weirdness. But I thought I had tested that and it did work, but maybe not. I did get part of that on there. I know I got the attunement bonus on there, which is one of those things I've been trying to add to combos when I can, which is not only does it hopefully is as effective as the non-combo version, but may have some lingering effects, positive effects on you, like giving you a 10-point attunement bonus, I think is what that one has. Let's see. Mysteria. I don't know that I've ever been to Mysteria. We'll zoom over to Mysteria.
There's a question for me. Azazel Reborn mentions skinning and wave battle. This is a bad idea. What is your views on it? So he's talking about in Well of Alder. There's in the furthest platform. There's a battle where you fight wyverns, and as you fight them, you can draw out like tougher ones. It's not the main wave battle scene, but it's a pretty good one. And so the problem here's the problem, and we've been talking about behind the scenes too. When you kill like a skeleton or some humanoid, You can loot it. Some loot you can easily distribute it among the other people in your party if you have a party. When you kill a beast that has to be skinned, the looting doesn't really have the same opportunities. It's a little bit of a pain. But when you're by yourself, it's fine. When you're with other people, you sort of have to sort of like decide beforehand who's going to skin the thing. And of course, with wyverns and their big wings and their big bodies, as they die, they're sort of like overlapping each other, so it's kind of a pain. And by the way, I was the one who set up that fight, so it's kind of my fault that it's a problem. So soon after it went in with this release, it's a brand new fight. We made some adjustments to spread out the spawning of the wyverns to make it a little bit easier to sort of manage the skinning. But we've also talked behind the scenes, like, is there some other ways we can sort of work with skinning to make it distribute through across the players? But that'll be something that will need new tech, so we'd have to talk about that at some later date. But it's still high up there in my daily thoughts about what to change with that particular battle and how to make it a little bit easier to distribute the loot.
And not just on the loot on that, there's a number of other things that we've been talking about with that battle. I'm pretty sure I mentioned on the last stream that we didn't consider that one done. The air elemental battle there did get some tweaks, so it's not just here's some mobs, they're going to spawn and run at you and you need to kill them type thing. So there's actually some planning strategy to go on with it. It did not get done. Travis has some ideas. It's one of those things that Travis has some freaking amazing ideas as always. And then he tells me and I'm like, that's going to be really hard. But it's, I think we always come up with a good compromise. I think we've got a good compromise for that one that we'll be doing soon. Oh, this is so nice.
He did have a big picture idea that was probably too big of a change, but I suggested let's not throw away those ideas that you just said. Let's keep them for the next scene or the scene after that, and we'll make a boss fight with all that inspired activity that would happen in the middle of the wave battle.
Yeah, this is so nicely laid out here. Irish Eyes, I have no idea. I don't know how I managed to not make it to your town before now. I like it. You
like
have the color theming going on.
Pretty nice.
And all the blues and the greens that work great with the organic nature here in the tropical island. We've promised speaking of vacations and needing a vacation, we promised our 6-year-old we'll be going to Hawaii once COVID stuff dies down, so that's makes me ready to go to Hawaii, all the palm trees. All right, back to some questions here. We're not getting through too many questions right now.
Bad Chef Xenos asks, are there any hidden scenes or quests that no one has discovered yet? I don't think so. I think all the scenes and quests, people have gotten them. I think there might be some areas and some scenes that they haven't found yet, like a little Easter egg cave basement or a situation that you might find on the ground, like, oh, that's a curious thing. But I think they've been to every general place.
Have you seen my headphones?
I have not.
That was Mad Chef of Xenos, if I didn't say that. That was his question.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
Maxine, what grade are you in?
3rd grade. I just graduated from 2nd grade.
We just finished the last thing for 2nd grade, so she was doing a bunch of different curriculums for 2nd grade, and she just finished up. So moving on to 3rd grade. We're not sure what we're going to do to get her back in school at this point. Let's see.
I got a question for you. I'm not sure the answer. Crafty Method asks, is there any reason the free lots from the storyline can't be used for abandoned NPC towns? Not sure what that means. Can't you use them like anywhere?
They're pot. When they say abandoned NPC towns, they mean like non-player towns, I'm sure. Like our town, so they can't put a pot one in there.
Right. Okay. I see. I guess because we wanted to promote players, player community interacting with other players.
Yeah, there was a time. I mean, I think a lot of you guys have been with us and seen kind of the evolution of things. Is we thought that initially we thought the NPC towns would be the cool towns, but it turns out the player towns end up being way cooler, as evidenced by the one I'm walking through here in terms of them putting together things and organizing things, and just even stuff like, the balanced layout. Where everything, like, I mean, look at the presentation here, like coming up and super welcome houses that are not perfectly square on things, and like up here, like these circles where she has the center point with houses, row lot houses all directed around them. But the players end up doing a better job. I think we discovered the players, and so the NPC lots are not super desirable, not as desirable as we initially thought. So, but yeah, I mean, that's something over time. Maybe we'll look at some way you can do something. I mean, we don't want to. It's one of those things, because we initially had the idea that those lots would be more valuable. We've always given those a higher value in the initial stuff we sold, and we always hate removing value from players. We try to make sure where we can, we keep old things that have value because they're limited or they were sold as special. We try to make sure they stay that way. So it's always a tough balance to figure out, because if not for that, I'm sure we would say, lots are lots, put them wherever. But we'll keep thinking on it, though. We want to make sure everything in the game gets used, including our NPC towns. But
are we due for another prize?
We're due for 3 prizings here.
Oh, okay.
I was just going to do it in the last 5 minutes. I feel bad because I didn't get through nearly as many questions as I wanted to get through. Let's see. Can we get a max button for the crafting menu so we don't have to mouse click 50 times to craft or refine something? Yeah, that feels like one of those easy improvements. I know there's a lot of those things, like the same thing I always have, like when dungeons first came out, I had people complain about, I'm trying to level up my dungeon and it's tedious. And of course I'd whatever. And we did a contest. I did a contest with a dungeon where I built a maze in a dungeon using our dungeon system, because as always, whenever possible, I try to play the game and see how systems work and what things are annoying. Well, I had to expand my dungeon. I had to use the player system. Oh my goodness, was that so incredibly tedious. It's still there, by the way. I did create a JIR for it, but I've not gotten back to get it. But yeah, the crafting one is something that you guys do all the time, and I know it's tedious. So hold on, I'm making a note of that.
Type a number in there, and Dursur's voting.
No one wants that.
Just type 99, and it'll just go to whatever the maximum is. Or just pick any high number. Just hit 11111 or whatever. It'll max out, I think.
Max button. It's an easy one.
Yeah, max button would be nice to know.
Let's see. Looks like you already answered random dude 611 with the fragile plaques, what they're for.
Yeah. I didn't say what they're for, but someone also said that where they couldn't find that last plaque, they actually found it in the works. So they all work now.
Irish Eyes asks a question: why won't my shrines work when facing west? What?
That's for Rick. I don't know.
Are these the new shrines only? Or are these the old shrines and we just haven't heard about? This is one that normally I would just write off as you're crazy. But I just fixed, in terms of talking about fixing bugs, I had some players report that the Lord of the Isle, that's one I've had players report over time for many houses, not just Lord of the Isle house. But it's one of those where they say something happens, but they can never reproduce it. Well, I forget who it was, but someone has shown me their Lord of the Isle house that they said they were holding off on decorating it because every time an item or two would end up getting zoomed to the middle of the lot, and so they just couldn't decorate it because they kept losing their items. And so sure enough, I couldn't reproduce it, and finally figured out reproducing it. It was one of these weird ones, to reproduce it, you got to put a table down or a rug down or whatever, something where you're going to put something on top of it. Then you put the object on it, and they actually showed me this, and it's if you put it over in this corner on this table, it gets shot to the middle. which of course I didn't believe. And then I tracked it down, and it was a problem with some houses were set up with some, we have like lots of offsets in the houses and the lots and all this stuff. And sometimes when you would always when you would put something down on top of another decoration, there was a time when it was loading, would run through the loop and figure out like all the stuff, but it would say, is this object within the acceptable space for this house? And if not, it would just like send it to 000 as a freak out option. And it was using the relative position on the table or rug or whatever you put it on. So you put it on there, and if it was in a corner, like maybe it was in -1, depending on how the table was set up, it would say this is invalid and shoot it off, and it didn't have a log message for it. So I set up a log message and tracked that down and fixed that one. So if you're one of those people who've at some point had an object shoot off to like vanish to some random spot, that bug should be fixed. But it's been there for years. It just wasn't very reproducible unless you were in a Lord of the Isle house. But anyways, I mentioned that because of the sometimes I hear these weird bugs and I'm like, meh, doesn't sound real thing. The shrine facing west, what? The new ones. So the new ones when facing west don't work. That is possible. I'll have to go and look and see how Elgarion set them up. Yeah, and Irish Eyes, you say in your town, that's, obviously different towns are oriented differently, and not, west is in a different direction depending on the town. So that's something that we can actually set. That guy right up there is the guy who sets most of those things. You can't see my finger. I'm pointing at Sannio though.
Yeah.
But he sets those things so that we have some arbitrary offset. So yeah, so it's one of those weird things. But yeah, I'll look into that. That may be one where it's pivoting, and something's getting pivoted weirdly or pivoted into it. But yeah, I'll check that out. Let's see. Elron, terraforming pots win. So I think I showed these off on a stream for those who don't know what he's talking about. I have some tech that flattens terrain. This is one that I actually got it to the point of it working. And I pretty quickly was able to do some horrible things with it while I was using it. And declared it not quite ready for prime time. But the tech is there. I want to get it a little less buggy than what it was. There is one bigger challenge with it, which is it's not a huge deal, but it eats up about 20 or 30 megs of memory, which I try not to waste too much more memory with how much memory we use. But I basically have to keep 2 copies of the terrain around. I may just swallow it and say that's fine, but I've got to keep stuff around so I can figure out proper ways to deform stuff. But that is still going to happen. That may... I've already postponed that a couple times just because it was buggy, and like I said, we've kind of decided that we want to spend some time fixing bugs rather than making bugs, and so adding in something that I knew was immediately going to turn into a giant bug, because if I can get in there and test things and break it easily, then you guys are going to go nuts with it, and you'll have like towers to the sky and above. And
makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I think it also makes Travis and David nervous as well. Probably more than me, but
yeah.
Well, pretty high on the nervous scale of that kind of change.
Let's see. Night Raven ID, is Bard Song Atonal Area going to get fixed? It does not matter if you single stack or 6 stack. It does the same damage and length of song. So that part is an easy fix. The thing that is that I started, I think I tweeted about this. I may not have mentioned on the last stream, but I was started working on some Bard stuff. And what I realized pretty quickly, because you can probably go to my Twitter feed and see people posting diametrically opposed beliefs of what Bard, how things should work with the Bards, and many of them did not match up with what I wanted. So I actually got on while I was doing these builds, trying to get Unity 2019 working, because that's basically a code for 30 minutes, run a build for 2 hours, code for 30 minutes, run a build for 2 hours process, which leaves me time to test stuff. So I've been actually playing. But I will be making some changes to them. Again, I can tell you my belief, and I still believe it's the way it should work, is, and this is kind of one of the big sticking points some people have, is the songs, the effect actually moves with the bard rather than being a cast it and it stays in one spot. Whatever the effect is, unless it's an instant thing. But it moves with the bard. But for the things that are buffs, the buffs that come off of them are longer durations. Right now they're all pretty short durations. So if you get hit by the bard, then you have to get refresh. It gets refreshed fairly often. So they'll make the effects last on them longer. But if the bard moves away from people, that travels with them. That is not mine. I'm trying to see what people are talking about now. But that's currently my belief. I'm playing with it some. I actually, especially since I'm doing client stuff now, I'm going to be building my own clients and playing my own version of that stuff. But I'll probably get some Bard stuff out. I'll get it done next week. We're kind of at the point where we're 2 weeks away from lockdown. So we'll probably do 1 or 2 more patch, but we try to only push safe stuff into the patches. So I'm not sure if that qualifies as safe or not. But yes, there will be some changes coming up to the bards. I've left the bards on 100% unlearn. I'm dying over here. Hold on. My singing voice. It's all right. Sannio will sing for me, won't you?
Nope.
I saw my Maxine and mine's caroling Twitch stream was up over 12,000 views, so I keep Maxine updated on how many people have watched her sing on her stream.
Pretty good.
Yeah, 12,000 views. I don't know why, but it's definitely not because of the quality of the singing. Well, Maxine's there, so she brings up the average. But let me go click a button 3 times and do 3 drawings here.
I was going to say, we're after 5 already.
Yeah. Okay, there's 1.
Let's give stuff away.
2. I'm trying. Hold on. I got 2 queued up. Length of charge up. So Foo Bunny, my thought for the length of the songs was that it would be something that I don't think it's any secret that many of the Bard songs are pretty powerful. I think some are a little less powerful than they should be, and some are obviously massively OP and need a little tweaking. But the idea was when we have these powerful effects, there always has to be a cost with it. And when we have a powerful effect like that, it's got to have some cost. It doesn't even have like reagents, doesn't cost focus. Well, one of them does at least. But there's got to be a cost with it. And for some of those, they're OP enough that what focus cost could I put on it? It's one of the challenges I have is trying to get you guys balanced so that people need focus, but aren't completely out of focus, and it's tough to get that balance in there. But anyways, so the cost with the Bard spells is the time to cast. And again, they're very OP, but that's one of those things, if you're thinking, I've made it very clear all along, a Bard should not be something people should be trying to solo play. It's not a solo play thing. It's something that for many, in many cases, you're going to be dedicating yourself to being the party Bard. But I think, because some of the effects are so powerful, people want a party Bard. So I think that is working kind of as intended. I know it's a little tedious having those long play times. That is kind of the cost for it. Crafting method. Lead programmer getting involved with balance is a black hole. Well, then I'll change my name to lead designer. Lead combat designer. Can I get involved with it now? Because I think I'm the only one who's ever done combat stuff.
I just call you Top Dog.
I was actually at a company named Top Dog. I have a Top Dog shirt. Top Dog. The Top Dog logo was a Top Dog getting a leg up on the competition. Huh? It crashed and burned. It was a lot of good people. That's a common theme, by the way, in a lot of game companies is a lot of really good, really talented people, and the company doesn't make it. It takes more than just good people and hard work and It takes a little bit of luck sometimes, or knowing the right people, or being at the right place at the right time. But let's see. Did we actually get some things? Did we get some stuff popping out?
Prize innings. There's 2 I see. I'm waiting on the
Okay.
third.
Okay, third one's going in there right now. I don't see any dupes so far, which is good, but if there is a dupe, we'll just roll with it. You get 2. You can be generous to your friends. And our amazing CS person has been really good about getting these out. Last time I was like, got on and told them I didn't know if they were around, and was like, if you can get to them by Monday night or something, and they were like, already done. They actually got them done before the end of the stream, so.
There's the third one just popped up.
All right. So I will read off a prize, and then Sannio will read the 3 names that received the prize. Oh, that's good. Right after I said no dupes. So are you ready? You're going to read the names?
Okay.
So you got to read the first name on
Even if
each
there's
one of
dupe?
those. So the first one is Blank Valentine's Day 2016 card 5-pack goes to the 3 people named...
Hawkwind, Andrew Night Owl, and Andrew Night Owl.
Right after I said no
Congratulations
dupes.
all to...
You get a 10-pack. Andrew Night Owl gets a 10-pack of Valentine's Day cards. Valentine's Day Gift Box 2017 3-pack goes to...
Lathander O, Sestra, and Quish.
Brass Clockwork Cat goes to...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ibi Pirafu,
Nailed it.
Ray Zero, and Zach Zaris.
Ornate Pipe Organ goes to...
Trezor Pile, Loramir Elenir, and Asmodee M. Hall.
And last but not least, a Large Stone Ruins goes to...
Serenia Malorian, Sean Silverfoot, and Tantalus.
Congratulations to all the winners. You're all winners. All of you. We've got a big long thing of things we're supposed to read off from...
What was the phrase, by the way? This one.
The phrase, too late. That's the phrase. Love is in the air is the phrase. Love is in the air. But let's see, we're supposed to read off the Week 39 fishing results. Took place in Lane, Valor, Falling Waters Fortress, Quell Passage, and Kaz Ruins. The winners are, a name I say quite often in the fishing tournaments, Robert Frost with a Tiger Shark, 5.421. Let's see. And that was in Lane. That wins a player-owned town row-lot deed, a large gold fishing trophy. Delane Laughlin's won with a King Salmon, 2.319. In the PvP category, gets 2 Chained Obsidian Shard 3-packs, large silver fishing trophy, and a title. And Delane Laughlin won again. Man, busy. Dunkleosaurus, 6.466. Quell Passage, the lava one, gets a Fishing Rod of Prosperity, large bronze fishing trophy, and a title. Week 40 with fishing locations are going to be Night's Watch, Krabnavir, Meadow's Edge, Disborg Ruins, and Spectral Mines. Upcoming events. I think I'm supposed to paste this one into the thing.
Yeah.
Let me do the thing. Doesn't say too much good to read off www.shroudoftheavatar.com/whatever. I think we're caught up on all of our...
Yeah. But there is the link in the chat, so if you do have a community event that you want to share, go to that link and you'll find out how you can
Yes.
share it.
Let's see. Did you see any last-minute questions? I got some more that haven't been in there. I didn't know bird baths were broken. What's wrong with bird baths? Bird baths and the love seat. We need to know more about those. We'll get those fixed. Anybody? Bird baths? Love seat? Doot. Dun. Loramir Elenir equals the Graceful Bard. I missed out on something above that. I normally plug whatever Eileen's doing here. Consider yourself plugged, although I didn't see what it was. The birds were removed a few years ago, maybe to limit to one a lot. Oh, she won a prize. Oh, okay. Yes, I will look into that. I do know about the birds being removed. That was the performance issue that some things are going on. And yes, I do like the idea of having a system to limit the number of birds on a lot, or in a pot overall. Because that is one of the things, just like with the dragon that's about to go in, I think. The Deco Dragon thing. We have to look at performance on all those things. We hate having things where it feels like you can grief your neighbors by, with worse performance. So you can't move or place several of the love seats. Ooh, okay. There's not that many love seats. Posted a bug report a while ago. Justin knows about it, I believe. Okay. We'll get caught up on some of those things. Those are usually pretty easy fixes, and usually has to do with a collision volume being messed up. Bee Striker likes griefing his neighbors. Well, of course. She's great. Yes, she is. Love seats are not placeable. Okay, we'll try and get those out. If we get those fixed here pretty quick, then it will go into a patch. Like I said, we'll probably do another patch or two. We try to only do safe stuff. That type of stuff, totally safe. Alright, guys. Time to find someone to raid and for me to torture you with a little singing here. As always, you can thank John Marcus. Almost always. Let's see. Oh, we got, I don't know, Eve Midnight. Elwyn Moon, always a good choice. Sad we're not going to be able to go to the Rin Fest this year, Elwyn Moon. Okay, it looks like Eve Midnight's not actually active. Oh no, I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. Just trying to see how many followers they had. 53 followers. So as much as I love both Elwyn... Oh, and they're actually doing something neat. They're in the crawl. Do they let us talk? Followers chat only. Well, you guys can be followers. That's what they want. So, yeah, they're in the crawl doing some stuff. So we're going to go for Eve Midnight. Obviously, Elwyn Moon is on, who is amazing. And a long time player. Has lots of stories and information. And then, of course, super talented, graceful bard is over there. So I expect a lot of you will flee over there. But maybe give Eve Midnight a follow before you bail if you do. But we are going to be going to Eve Midnight, because they're actually playing the game, doing something interesting. Griffler, that is a fabulous idea, buddy. I just saw this as I was posting this up there. Griffler says, would it be possible to have all the maps in a folder accessible by players so we could use our own custom maps for areas? Pots. That's one of the things I was looking through, I was going through as I was looking at some Lua stuff. Again, trying to dig into some of the hitching problems that have turned some people off to using it for more advanced UI stuff. And remember, we've got all the folders there. You can actually use images from it. We can pull stuff up. So some of that stuff is already there. But yeah, we should totally have it just a folder for maps. Let you put your own custom maps in there to... if you want to have your own map that you think is better than ours, override it. And just give it the name of the scene is probably all it should be, and that should be it. So yeah, maybe I'll look into that. I like that one. Hold on. Good call, Griffler. And also nice to see your name around. Hold on, I'm pasting. I got a microphone in the way of my stuff here. Alright, so now we will go over here. We're going to do a raid here, but before we go, I will be torturing you with some Billy Joel. Guys, let me just say again, I will come up with some more details for the helping out Wendy, Catherine Rose's daughter, but we'll have some stuff there. We're definitely going to give at least the Lord of the Isle. We'll probably throw in some other stuff. Again, I'm going to look for some real artifact type stuff we can mail out to you guys. But we will be putting up some stuff for auction and getting 100% or very close to it of that money to them. We'll probably end up doing it. We'll see how it goes, but they may end up, I'm not sure if it ends up being Airy Fund. There's a chance they'll do it, but again, that's just a chance. Nothing's final. But if they do it, I know they're a nonprofit and they have ways of giving money to people without it being bad. If we don't do that, then it'll just go straight into the GoFundMe and you'll be able to see whatever we donate there. But again, we're going to give you guys, we're going to donate that stuff, make it a win-win situation to help out the community, help out another long-time community family. So we'll get that information out soon. Again, I'm going to contact Richard and Star to get some more information, see what they can provide, because I know they both know Catherine Rose and family. So we are going to be rating Eve Midnight. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's see, as I torture you, you only have to live with it for 60 seconds here. You ready? Okay, here we go. Uptown girl, she's been living in her uptown world. I bet she's never had a backstreet guy. I bet her mama never told her why. I'm gonna try for an uptown girl. She's been living in her white bread world as long as anyone with hot blood can. And now she's looking for a downtown man. That's what I am. And when she knows what she wants from her time, and when she wakes up and makes up her mind, she'll see I'm not so tough just because I'm in love with an uptown girl. Oh, well, this is going on forever. Is the raid timer slower today, or I'm not sure what's going on there? But anyways, that's enough torturing for you guys. John Marcus, thank you for letting me sing for you guys and embarrass myself on here. It's good, but everybody, we're about to go, but everybody be safe, wear masks, stay home if you can, and let's go raid. See ya. And